Test, 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 test. What'd you do? Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Five, six, seven, eight. All right, so we're good. Awesome.
Full. All right, ladies and gentlemen, kids, we are about ready to get started. Home plate meeting with umpires. Can we have the manager for Logan and the manager for Sophia? Good luck to both teams. The winner moves on. Both teams will play tomorrow. Actually, the winner of this game will play Tuesday, if I remember right.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Greenbrier, West Virginia, where we are getting set for our first of two games in the winner's bracket to see who moves on to the winner's bracket final on Tuesday. Chris Kidd here with you, Butch Mounts, our engineer, with Brian Shepard, our statistician and graphic organizer for today's game, as we are getting set for Logan versus Sophia here in the battle at 6 o'clock. Logan won 9-3 against their first opponent yesterday morning, and Sophia ended up holding off Boone Northern 5-3 yesterday in order to move on to this round. We'll be back with first pitch right after this break as you are watching the 2020 Little League State Tournament with us right here on Video Productions.
As a member of the military, a military family, or a veteran, the last thing you should have to worry about is your prescriptions. At your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, we'll transfer your prescriptions for you with no interruptions in service. Our pharmacists will be there to help answer questions and share tips and advice with a friendly, knowledgeable smile. And we're not going anywhere. We welcome military personnel and their families. Transfer your prescriptions today. Griffith & File Drugstore and Soda Fountain, 1405 Chestnut Street, Canova. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Are your kids playing in a real Little League? Little League is the world's largest and most respected youth sports program, with nearly 2.4 million children and more than 1 million volunteers in dozens of countries around the world. Little League includes baseball and softball programs for kids ages 4 to 16. There's the Challenger Division program for kids with physical and mental challenges too. For those adults interested in starting a genuine Little League in your area, assistance is available from Little League International in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. For more information on Little League, visit Little League website at www.littleleague.org.
No child in our community should have to go hungry, but it happens every day. That's why the Food Shack is traveling across our area to stop hunger among community kids. The mission is simple: feed as many kids as possible with free hot meals 5 days a week. There's no questions asked and no catch. If your child is hungry and needs something to eat, the Food Shack will provide them with a meal. Visit our Facebook page to find out where the Food Shack is going next.
We are back and ready for the first pitch here tonight, as it'll be Alton Ellis on the mound for the Logan All-Stars, as he will take on Tyler Varney to lead things off here tonight, as we're glad you're with us here on Video Productions for this winner-take-all into the winner's bracket contest. As first pitch, ground ball to third. Great backhand stop by Bentley Williamson. Fires over to Adam Baisden in time for out number one, as Varney, who had a single yesterday in the first inning, looked like he might have a chance at a double to lead off this game, but got robbed over at third, as this Logan defense is about as solid as it gets. As you see, we've got a few new camera angles now that we've set up in between the first set of games today, and right there you get the look from the first base side on the great backhand stop by Williamson. Now Hunter Atkins stands in. Atkins was 1 for 4 yesterday against Boone Northern. Struck out, singled to right, grounded out to second, and ground into a fielder's choice. Count 1-1. Landon Riddle will be up next, the opposing pitcher, followed in the cleanup spot by Silas Nelson, the catcher. Ellis is 1-1, fouled into the screen, 1-2. Cash Lynch will be batting fifth for Sophia, the right fielder. Batting sixth will be first baseman Ashton Arthur. Batting seventh is third baseman Justin Williams. In the eighth spot is center fielder Christian Linksweiler, and rounding out the lineup is shortstop Caden Bradbury. Coming off the bench will be Cole Moody, the hero from yesterday, with that 2-run blast in the fifth inning to help give them a 3-run lead, and turned out to be the margin of victory for Sophia. Then Carter Hajash and Jacob Varney off the bench. Swing and a miss on a sinking fastball from Ellis. Strike 3 and 2 quick outs here for the Logan All-Stars in the top of the first inning. That'll bring up Landon Riddle. With the Logan defense, you have Martin in left field, Blankenship in center field, Farmer in right field, Williamson at third base, Vance at shortstop, Wolf at second base, Baisden at first, as we said, Ellis on the mound, and Ivan Miller behind home plate, the dynamic catcher for Logan. It's a 1-0 count here to Landon Riddle, the opposing pitcher. He had a great day yesterday at the plate, 3 of 3 with 3 singles and a walk in the win against Boone Northern. That one foul back into the screen. 1-1 the count. Again, we are down to 6 teams now after Beelington was eliminated this morning by Boone Northern 17-7 in our first 10-run rule game. That was a game tied at 7 in the 4th inning, and then Boone Northern erupted for 10 runs to end the game in the bottom of the 5th. And then we had a pitcher's duel after that as that pitch skips in and misses from Ellis. 2 balls and a strike against Landon Riddle. But that was a game that was scoreless until the 4th inning when finally Fairmont broke through and ended up going on to win 6-1 after a 3-run blast in the 5th inning, helped create separation. There's strike 2 pumped in by Ellis. So again, the winner of this game moves into the finals of the winner's bracket. They'll get tomorrow off, and then the loser will have to come back and face off against Fairmont tomorrow in the loser's bracket contest. This one slapped to the infield over to Williamson, a chance for a second put out in the inning, and he gets it. So great work by Ellis, a 1-2-3 inning with Williamson with a couple of assists to put the inning to bed. Now Logan gets their first look at it. Coming up next, as you are watching the 2020 West Virginia Little League State Tournament with us right here live on Video Productions.
As a member of the military, a military family, or a veteran, the last thing you should have to worry about is your prescriptions. At your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, we'll transfer your prescriptions for you with no interruptions in service. Our pharmacists will be there to help answer questions and share tips and advice with a friendly, knowledgeable smile. And we're not going anywhere. We welcome military personnel and their families. Transfer your prescriptions today. Griffith & File Drugstore and Soda Fountain, 1405 Chestnut Street, Canova. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Are your kids playing in a real Little League? Little League is the world's largest and most respected youth sports program with nearly 2.4 million children and more than 1 million volunteers in dozens of countries around the world. Little League includes baseball and softball programs for kids ages 4 to 16. There's the Challenger Division program for kids with physical and mental.
Bottom of the first inning we go with Logan coming up for their first at bat. Chris Kidd with you, Brian Shepard, our statistician and graphic organizer, Butch Mounts, our engineer. There's a 1-2-3 inning by Alton Ellis, and Logan will be led off by Noah Vance, followed by Bentley Williamson, the third baseman, Vance the shortstop, Ellis the opposing pitcher batting third, Ivan Miller the catcher batting in the cleanup spot, Adam Baisden the first baseman batting fifth, had a good game the other day at the plate for Logan. Batting sixth is Jace Wolf, the second baseman. In the 7 hole is Addix Martin, the left fielder. Batting eighth is True Blankenship, the center fielder. And Kevin Farmer, the right fielder, batting ninth. Gabe Goldie, Landon Hall, and Owen Bryant will be coming off the bench for Logan. Manager for Logan is Doug Williamson. Coaches Les Goldie and Joe Wolf. League president is Les Goldie. And the DA for Logan Little League is Mike Vickers. Unfortunately, we didn't have those listed for Sophia whenever they turned in their lineup sheet. But if we happen to get word on it, we'll try and pass it along. And again, if unfamiliar with either area, again, Logan, they were the state champions in the Little League in 2017 with that dominant group that just plowed through the competition all the way through the state championship and ended up moving on in district play. A lot of those players now in high school getting ready to play in their sophomore season coming up. So Logan trying to win their second state championship in 4 years, located in southern West Virginia. Sophia, again, a smaller area in Raleigh County with, as of 2010, the last time they did the census report, had 1,344 citizens lived in the area. And it was also the birthplace of Robert C. Byrd. So Sophia trying to come in and make some noise here as Landon Riddle on the bump for Sophia here today as Noah Vance takes the pitch, ball one. Vance was 1 for 4 yesterday against Belington. He doubled in the first inning, hit into a pair of fielder's choices, and then lined out to third. This one chopped towards second. Tough play in between, and it gets into right field. So Vance will lead off with a hit to get things started for the Logan All-Stars here today. So just like yesterday, Vance gets things going in the right direction for Logan. That'll bring up Bentley Williamson.
Hey, you're all right. Let's go. Get your body in front of it next time. Let's go. Knock it down.
And Logan fell behind early 1-0 yesterday against Belington. Tied it up in the bottom of the first inning, then erupted for 6 runs in the second inning to take a 7-1 lead and went on cruise control from there and ended up winning the contest 9-3. So they had a much easier time yesterday than did Sophia. As this one lifted into the air towards the right side, that'll get out of play over towards us. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike as Williamson yesterday struck out twice, hit into a fielder's choice, but then in the 5th inning hit a 2-run RBI double that almost left the yard as he swings and misses through that one but gets away, and that allows the speedy Noah Vance to move on to second base. And now a runner in scoring position for Logan early and a chance to take a quick lead. Williamson's ball, you can see the yellow lining in center field. It landed just beneath that. And a nice curveball by Riddle getting Williamson out in front swinging, strike 3. So big first out for Landon Riddle, and that'll bring up Alton Ellis. Ellis yesterday batted in the 4 spot, now goes to the 3 spot as he struck out. He walked with the bases loaded, which got him an RBI, and swings and misses at this one, 0-1. And then grounded out back to the pitcher in his 3 plate appearances. Vance still standing over at second base. A base hit would likely score him with his speed. Now it's going to be evident that he'll definitely score if a base hit occurs as that pitch gets away and Vance scoots on over to third base. If you're Nelson behind home plate, you're going to have to be aware if another ball gets away. And we talked about it's a short backstop here, but with Vance's speed, he might be able to get home as that pitch misses high. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Riddle readies himself, comes with this one. This one ripped up the middle, and that's into left field for a hit as Logan will jump on top 1-0. Great piece of hitting by Alton Ellis as he waited on that fastball and just plowed it into left field in between third and short that time for an RBI single. Now the batter will be Ivan Miller. Miller takes a big rip at that fastball and fouls it into the screen, 0-1. Yesterday, Miller walked in his first 2 plate appearances, one time with the bases loaded, got an RBI out of it, then struck out in his last 2 plate appearances. That fastball misses high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Riddle trying to settle down now after Logan's touched him up for a couple of hits here in the first 3 batters. There's another hard rip by Miller, fouls it into the screen. 1-2 the count to the Logan catcher. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good pitch by Riddle that time as he got it on the outer half. That pitch swept across the plate and got Miller chasing for strike 3. That'll bring up Adam Baisden. He had a pair of hits yesterday with 3 RBIs, had an RBI single that tied the game in the first inning, then had a 2 RBI single in the second inning that helped break things open, and then grounded out to second base in his 3rd plate appearance. He's also a pretty sure-gloved first baseman over on the near side here. Again, saw him dig out a couple of tough balls yesterday. He made a couple of putouts of his own in the win over Belington. That pitch misses inside. Count at 1 ball and 1 strike to the Logan first baseman. Riddle trying to limit the damage here in the first inning as Logan's already jumped out on top 1-0. Nice stop. Good catch right off the cleat that time. by Nelson. Kind of trapped it up against the bottom of his shoe, but prevents Ellis from moving up on the base path. That one misses high to Ellis. Now 3-1. Riddle being a little bit more careful with Baisden, knowing the type of production he had yesterday. Trying to see if he can get him to chase something and get himself out at this juncture. As Baisden takes a rip at the 3-1, that one popped up, but going to get out of play out behind home plate. Now the count runs full. That's 20 pitches already this inning for Riddle. We'll talk about the pitch count rule in just a little bit in case you haven't been with us this week and are unfamiliar with it. Great pitch there by Riddle, catching the outside corner. 4 strike 3, so Riddle strikes out the side, but Logan picks up 2 hits, including an RBI single by Alton Ellis, and the Logan All-Stars take a 1-0 lead after 1 inning of play. Back after this as you're watching the 2020 West Virginia Little League State Tournament with us right here live on Video Productions. Top of the second inning we move as Alton Ellis back on the hill after a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first inning. He'll now deal with the 4, 5, 6 hitters as Silas Nelson leads things off. 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss there. Good pitch by Ellis. 1-1 the count as yesterday Silas Ellis had a ground rule double to center field, then an RBI single, and then hit into a pair of fielder's choices after that. That one misses a little low to Nelson. Count it 2-1. Logan taking a 1-0 lead after the RBI single by Ellis in the bottom of the first inning. Now trying to make that lead hold up as there's a foul ball back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the winner moves on to the finals of the winner's bracket on Tuesday for a chance to get into the championship round on Wednesday and really hold the upper hand at that point, because then whoever comes out of the loser's bracket would have to win twice, as this one lifted into the air to right field, coming on and falls in front of Farmer. That's going to be trouble as Nelson rounds first, digs for second, and he'll be in with a stand-up double as Farmer had to come a long way to try and come in and make that grab. Made a sliding attempt at it but came up just short. And now Sophia is in business here in the top of the second inning for a chance to tie this game, maybe more, as Cash Lynch stands in. Lynch yesterday had a 2 RBI single and struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Count at 0-1 started out to the Sophia right fielder. That one fouled back to the screen, 0-2. And the big benefit of continuing to win and getting that day off, you really get a chance to set your pitching order up for those last couple of games, unlike some of the teams in the loser's bracket that are going to have to play multiple times. For instance, tomorrow, whoever ends up in the losers bracket is going to have to win twice tomorrow in order to get all the way to Tuesday. They throw over to third just to make sure Nelson's going to hold still. It's the count at 1 and 2. But that's really going to wreck a lot of teams' pitching staffs. Again, we saw today both teams that even won had to go with two of their better pitchers all the way toward the end of the 85 pitch mark, which means they're going to have 4 days rest and likely not be eligible to pitch for the rest of this tournament. As there's a swing and a miss, strike 3, as Ellis able to retire Cash Lynch for his second strikeout of the ball game. So this is where the depth of your pitching order really comes into play for a lot of teams. And we'll see how it affects some of them tomorrow. I'd say tomorrow a lot of that will show up with some of these teams, but like I said, whoever wins this is going to have a big advantage moving into the final rounds of play on Tuesday and Wednesday, unless we have a day of rain, which may give some teams a chance to restock their cupboards a little bit more. Let's count 0-1. Ellis comes with a fastball, catches the outside corner, 0-2. So again, if you throw over 20 pitches in a game, then you have to have at least 1 day's rest. And then if it's over 35, it's 2 days rest. If it's over 50, it's 3 days rest. And anything over 65 pitches is 4 days rest. This one chopped over foul towards the Sophia dugout. As Ashton Arthur standing in. Arthur moving up in the order today, batting 6th. He batted 8th yesterday, was 1 for 3, grounded out to the pitcher, singled to center field, and then flew out into shallow center field. Count 0-2. This one chopped towards the right side. Nice play by Baisden and a race to the bag, and he barely beats Arthur in order to get the second out. As I said, Adam Baisden, such a great glove over at first base, made a great play as that ball was getting between first and second as Wolf was going after it too. Again, just watch Baisden range over here, and then look at the distance he had to cover in order to beat Arthur to the bag, and got him by about half a step that time. And if Wolf would have had to make that play, I think that Arthur is going to beat that out. So anything hit to the right side of the Logan defense in Baisden's area, he's been able to gobble it up thus far. There's a swing and a miss by Justin Williams, 0-1. So again, Nelson was able to move over to third on that play. And he's got a ton of speed over there, so same deal. If a ball gets by here, you may see Nelson give it a go. That one swung on and missed, 0-2. Now they come home with it. Nelson tries to sneak in, and he does. He gets in under the tag, and we're all even at 1 apiece. What gutsy base running by Silas Nelson that time, as he kept dancing around over at third base. Here you see it. Once the ball left the hands of Miller, he took off and took the gamble to see if he could get in, and just did get in under the tag. And now we are all even at 1 apiece, an 0-2 count, and strike 3 called on Williams to retire him and in the top of the second inning, and the third strikeout for Alton Ellis. But a double by Nelson, taking third and then stealing home, ties this game up at 1 apiece, heading to the bottom of the second inning. Back after this as you're watching the 2020 Little League State Tournament with us right here on Video Productions.
Are your kids playing in a real Little League? Little League is the world's largest and most respected youth sports program, with nearly 2.4 million children and more than 1 million volunteers in dozens of countries around the world. Little League includes baseball and softball programs for kids ages 4 to 16. There's the Challenger Division program for kids with physical and mental challenges too. For those adults interested in starting a genuine Little League in your area, assistance is available from Little League International in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. For more information on Little League, visit Little League website at www.littleleague.org.
No child in our community should have to go hungry, but it happens every day. That's why the Food Shack is traveling across our area to stop hunger among community kids. The mission is simple. Feed as many kids as possible with free hot meals 5 days a week. There's no questions asked and no catch. If your child is hungry and needs something to eat, the Food Shack will provide them with a meal. Visit our Facebook page to find out where the Food Shack is going next.
Bottom of the second inning, 1-1 here from Central Greenbrier Little League Field in the 2020 West Virginia Little League State Tournament. Chris Kidd here with you. Butch Mounts, our engineer, and Brian Shepard, our statistician and graphic designer, here with us as well as we're positioned along the first base side. And here you get a good look at our first base camera. There's a strike pumped into Jace Wolf. Count even at 1-1 strike to open up the bottom of the second, and Logan with 2 hits and a run from Noah Vance and Alton Ellis to score their run, and this one hit back up the middle, fielded over there at short by Bradbury on the first, and in time, barely able to get Wolf by about half a step at first base. Again, what looks like routine plays out here, becoming very difficult with the speed of both these teams. Again, there you see about a 3-hopper over to short. And Bradbury really had to put something on that throw in order to get it over and get Wolf that time. And Wolf yesterday was 0 for 3. It nearly reached that time as Addix Martin stands in. Martin. And only in 2 at-bats yesterday. Had a pair of singles and an RBI when Logan batted around in the second inning as that pitch high and over the head of Nelson. Count evens up at 1-1 strike. And Silas Nelson, the catcher, got the double to start the inning, moved over to third on the ground out to first, and then literally stole home on the throwback from the pitcher to catcher to pitcher. And able to even this game up as Martin takes a strike on the outer half, 1-2 strikes. So Riddle struck out 3 thus far, looking for his 4th victim. Misses low on that pitch. Good eye that time by Martin as that pitch kind of fell out the bottom right at the end. Martin able to lay off of it. Strike 3 on the outside corner as Riddle really starting to hammer that outside corner here in the early going. That's the 3rd Logan batter he struck out with that pitch. And now here comes Crew Blankenship standing in. Again, Blankenship, the number 8 hitter in the Logan lineup, yesterday popped out and had a sacrifice bunt in the win over Billington. Fastball misses outside from Riddle, 0-1. Riddle and Martin have really shown great control here first time through the order. Swing and a miss as Blankenship tardy on that fastball. 1-1 the count. This time chopped off a home plate and back behind Nelson as count moves to 1-2. So Riddle looking for a quick second inning after he labored through the first inning. He threw over 20 pitches in the first inning. Now only at 32 here, so he's only wasted about 11, 12 pitches thus far. That one misses outside. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.